Right, Monday, February 28th, 2011. Last day of the month already. I'm down in Amberley in West Sussex doing the free walk number 11, Amberley Circular. It's about 10.5 miles. Integrates a bit of flat walking, level walking along the River Arun, and some downland walking, so it should be good. Interesting little station this. Old railway carriage there making up a waiting room. It's actually manned because it has signals. So there's a mixture of modern technology over there with the solar panel and the wind farm. And behind me, some signals. Not often you see them on a modern railway. But as I say, the guy behind me, who may or may not mention that I shouldn't be filming, is operating these signals. Bit of a grey day, but although it's rained for most of the journey down from Victoria, it's not raining here at the moment, so hopefully the weathermen have got the forecast right and it will stay away. So about 10.5 miles, it's now 12 o'clock, should be done by 5. I'm hoping to get the 5:27 back, which drops me back at London Bridge with one change. Far better than Victoria currently in the rush hour with all its works going on. Anyway, let's see what pans out here. Straight away you got some of the chalk downland, clearly where the station's been cut into. And apparently there's a working museum here. Amberley Working Museum, whatever that is. And as usual, as it seems to be at stations, plenty of crows' nests. Crows in a group. No, sorry, it's the other way around, isn't it? Rooks in a group, crows on their own. So they're rooks. Rookery. Information board here just outside the station telling us about the village of Amberley. Apparently it dates back to Saxon times when in 680 AD the king of the Saxons gave it to the exiled bishop of Northumbria. From then on the village's fortunes have been linked to the bishops of Chichester. So just 5 minutes in, I'm next to the River Arun, looking back towards the village of Amberley, and this is already a very nice view, albeit a bit grey. The footpaths, obviously these are water meadows, are absolutely a quagmire, but hey ho, all part of walking. Looking back at Amberley from the style mentioned in point 5 of the text. River Arun just on my right. Some great reeds there. As I mentioned before, very muddy underfoot. So here we are at the solitary footpath post mentioned at point 6 in the text. Yep, it's still falling over by the looks of it. Next to an old footpath that seems to have been eaten up by the river. And as marked on the footpath post, here we do a right over towards that gate in the distance. Plenty of birds around on those levels. Swans over there. And you may have just heard that sound in the distance. Plenty of flocks of stuff around as well. You just may be able to pick that up. Lapwings. Well, as mentioned in the text, that section was extremely boggy, ankle deep in places. Luckily, the combination of my Berghaus boots and the gaiters has prevented an ingress, but you'd be better off with Wellington boots, I reckon, in that section. Bit of agricultural heritage there. God knows what that was used for. Just as we approach the railway line mentioned in point 8 of the text, got to go across that. Now pass into the rear of Amberley Castle, as mentioned in point 9 of the text. Apparently this is now a hotel. God knows where. I'm sure parts of it are. There's an interesting fact. Record flood level, November 2000. That's pretty high. In fact, if the water was up there now, it would be up to my chest. There you are. There's a fence post next to me. Give you some idea. The river's just over there on my left. Confirmation there that it is indeed a hotel. Just on the outskirts of Amberley village now. Some very quaint and ancient buildings here. Not surprisingly, some thatch. Shot here of St Michael's Amberley, which is next to the castle. Christian worship has been offered here since the 12th century, apparently. Motorists and visitors are asked to contribute towards the upkeep of the church and churchyard. Amazing. Wouldn't find that in many places today. Notice the box is rusted over. And as described in the text, some amazing houses here. Some great buildings here. This is the Amberley Village Pottery. Look at that. Amazing. Amberley Village tea room there, which is quite clearly closed today. Next to the very picturesque old Stack cottage. That's the early lunchtime option in Amberley. The Black Horse. Still drizzling, which is not making this walk very pleasant. But the scenery makes up for that. Okay, point 14 of the text, where the houses in Amberley end. That's a view of the ridge that we'll be walking later, apparently. 4 miles of walking up there by all accounts. Just stopped at the very useful village stores in Amberley for, well, to support them basically. It's owned by the community but employs some staff as opposed to a totally community setup. Another possible early lunch stop, Sportsman. Doesn't look particularly appealing to me. was in an urban stretch of the walk. This is a view from a point near or just past White Oaks, the house mentioned in the text at point 16. And this is a kind of view that the properties have in the this end of the village at Amberley. They're perched up high on a ridge like me, but down below you can see clear water meadows there, very boggy. Yep, need to cross this field, very muddy field, towards that gap in the hedge over there. Should be interesting. Point 17 of the text. Well, tomorrow's the 1st of March, St David's Day. Bang on cue. The old daffs are out. And that would explain why yesterday Monsieur Wenger was wearing a small daffodil symbol, I noticed. Probably. Anyway, didn't help with the result. Dire. Yeah, the old warblers are back. And in the distance there, some jays having an argument. Just stood next to the stile mentioned in point 20 of the text. There's the ridge in the background. Otherwise pretty grey. Wind's starting to pick up, so I'm going to try my wind canceller today. A little item I purchased at the weekend. Just stood on the edge of an RSPB reserve here, which I presume is Amberley Wild Brooks. Delightful wild woodland. It's going to be a bird's paradise in there. Anyway, my onward journey's turn right here and up that lane. Rackham Old School, as mentioned in point 21 of the text. And behind me, interesting wear and tear there of the rocks. Interesting birds there. My goodness. Set the chicken off in the background as well. That's better. God knows what they are. So here we are at the entrance to Parham House. Connected with Henry VIII back in 1540. He granted the manor of Parham to a London mercer called Robert Palmer. Apparently only 3 families have lived here ever since. There's a deer park, some ancient trees, famous dovecote, and a little note there about the Second World War. Parham became home to 30 evacuee children from Peckham, apparently. What a delightful place to be based. Interesting. There's the lake with the Parham House in the distance there. Another shot of the house. And again, very pleasant backdrop with the downs there, isn't it? Yeah. Confirmation of the time. Not sure that's right actually. Another information board here, same as the one at the station earlier on. Same series anyway, Heritage Trail 2000. And this one tells us about Parham's connections with its apples, golden pippins and a Victorian adventurer. And just over there, coming towards the end of their life now, nice splash of white snowdrops. Now being superseded by the daffodils. Right, there's the recommended lunchtime stop, the Crown Inn. Not quite sure why this one's been recommended, because it's next to a busy main road, and at 2:15 it's quite a long way into the walk. Maybe the other two pubs would be better positioned for a lunchtime stop. Anyway, I don't use the pubs anyway, so no problem to me. I now need to find a spot to eat my lunch though. So today's lunchtime spot is this bench outside the village hall. Cootham Village Hall. Okay, 10 to 3, lunch has been had, and that's what awaits me now. Getting on top of that hill there, and then walking along the ridge back to Amberley. There's someone that's happy in the mud. Point 41 of the text, and the downs are getting closer. Lovely view that. The gap mentioned in point 46 of the text still exists, as seen there. Point 49 in the text, and there's a clear cutting that we take, as opposed to the path steeply on the right or the path to the left. This path is pretty much a quagmire, basically because it's a bridleway and the horses have churned it all up, and there sure are a lot of them around here, as is evidenced by that stables over there. So, pretty tough going at the moment. Be glad when I get out up on the downs. Okay, this is the view from point 51 in the text. Delightful. And although it's not very clear, in the distance there, the sea is evident. That'll be Bognor and Littlehampton, presumably. Anyway, as it says in point 51, instead of following the white brick road, we turn right here up between these hummocks. Wonder if I'll have to get the old muffler ready. It's a bit breezy up here. Okay, here's the view from 213 metres up. Not sure if this muffler's working or if you can hear me, but pretty windy up here and cloudy. What a cracking view on a summer's day, no doubt. Pretty impressive now, but unfortunately low cloud. This is at a point near Kithurst Hill, and there's the trig point over there, which is why I know we're 213 metres up. Almost 4 o'clock now, so getting pressed for time actually. Not convinced this is only 10.5 mile walk. Well, of course, stupid me, this is the coastward side on my left, not the other side. So what I was looking at was actually skyline. But apparently on a very clear day, you can see the Isle of Wight over there somewhere in the distance. Not today though. Can just see over there on the right what appears to be a bay. Yeah, that's the sea over there. Just about make it out. Keep straight on at the four-armed footpath post. Yeah, delightful views, I should imagine, on a clear day. Okay, now stood by the car park mentioned in point 57 of the text, and officially following the South Downs way all the way back to Amberley. And that's ahead of me there. Emerged from the wood mentioned in point 57 of the text. Not using the muffler here because it doesn't fit very well. Also to see what the difference is. Text. Looking down on this morning's walk, there's the marshes. Parham House. River Arun and its floodplain. Shame it's so cloudy today. Grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, eh? Just on the fringes of Amberley now, having come off the South, well, still on the South Downs way actually, and it's 10 to 5. It's going to be touch and go if I get that 1727. Better get me skates on. Amazing place down there. I've taken the branch mentioned in the last paragraph that doesn't go into Amberley village, and I'm headed straight for the station because it's quicker. There's a bizarre lost kind of village down here, looks like. South Down. Very eerie and quiet. It's got its own little railway down there, just below me. How odd. Well, blow me, just outside Amberley station, 5:10 now, so plenty of time to spare. And these look like my first primroses of the year. Bit early. Loads of them. Anyway, as I say, back at the station. Well, that was lucky. Got the time wrong. It's not 17:27, it's 17:17. It's now 17:11. So, lucky. Anyway, that was a delightful walk. I question the 10.5 miles though. As I say, just on the basis of time it's taken me. Well, it's taken me, if I left at 12, it's taken me 5 hours 15, which is quite a long time. Times 2.5, well, knock off 20 minutes, let's make it 5 hours, 2.5 miles an hour. That's 12.5 miles, by all accounts. Anyway, a great walk. It's another one done. Free walk number 11, by the way, and that Lost Village I saw, etc., with the railway and what have you, is all part of the Amberley Museum exhibition, of course.